man of steel himself, Rickey Henderson, has tragically passed away here. Tim, if you could go and put up that up for us here. Kind of sudden. It was one of those things where we heard rumors and murmurs on the internet, and wanted to make sure and double checked everything and triple checked, and unfortunately the news is true. Rickey Henderson has passed away. I think of pneumonia is what I was hearing, unfortunately. So condolences to his family, condolences to pretty much the A's organization, everyone involved of this era, not the current A's organization, because, still it's time to remind us that F. John Fisher on that situation. But Rickey Henderson, man, born in Chicago, moved to Oakland, became the Oakland kid, the favorite, played for his team. He played with a bunch of teams, the Mets. He played with the Padres. In fact, it was the last time that when he played with the Padres, it was like the last year that Tony Gwynn also played as well too. So,
his last steal was in 2003 with the Dodgers. So in August. So
very tragic. Definitely one of my favorite players growing up. Definitely probably a lot of our players growing up. But, I don't know. I just really, really sad and unfortunate news given the state of affair of the A's, and if it couldn't get any lower, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Rickey was my favorite player growing up. I have the when I played Little League, they had everybody fill in your favorite player and whatnot. Rickey, when I'm 6 years old, Rickey Henderson's name was on the back of my card because that's my favorite player. That was my dude, and truly devastating. When I gave up all of my A's shit, I did keep a couple of things, and one of those things I kept was Rickey holding up the base bobblehead because that was my guy, and I'm truly like. This fucking sucks. It was so sudden. Obviously, we weren't expecting that. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. And the way it was, like you said, the way it kind of the news was trickling out, it was super weird. It made me glad that I'm not on Twitter anymore, because I'd have just been going crazy on there, like trying to find something, anything. And I'm just kind of waited for the official word from people who have connections and stuff and who know the family. So. Hearing about that on Saturday morning, that was not pleasant to hear that news at all, and it really sucks. It's a sad day, sad time, sad end to 2024, and it's just to pile on millennial former fans of the A's, I guess at this point, like it's just just another heartbreak into what has been a whole series of heartbreak. This is probably the biggest one of them all because Rickey didn't even get to get a statue. They named the field after him at the Coliseum, which is, great and important and whatnot, but they're not playing there anymore. So, what good is that in all honesty? And if there should have been a statue a long time ago for Rickey, and it never happened. And it sucks.
Well, for that to happen, there should have been a stadium built a long time ago, and we know what's going on there. So shame on John Fisher for that. And I think most A's fans will go to their grave with that feeling. I remember one year, just a few years ago, I want to say it was like 2020 COVID year. It was like hard to shop and get gifts, we were in lockdown. So one year, like I made my dad a Rickey Henderson t-shirt. So I got an image of Rickey Henderson's like rookie baseball card, I think is what it was. And I shrunk it down and put it on a t-shirt. And that was my dad's birthday gift one year. I believe it was his birthday. It might've been Father's Day, but I think it was birthday. So like, cause I was like a generational player that father and son can bond with. We've talked about this at like nauseum about there's been no generational players to link generational fans together. Right. So when you're constantly in a rebuild, you're constantly trading away star players. There's never really an attachment between father and son, mother and daughter, parents and kids, however you want to cut it. Right. Generation to next generation. Where like Rickey Henderson, Vince, you're the perfect example. Your grandfather, your father, and you were bonded through the heritage, the history of Rickey Henderson as an Oakland A, leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. And
yeah, he did it about 4 different times. Yeah.
Right. I mean, every generation has a memory of Rickey Henderson leaving and then coming back. Those are the things that tie us together. So there's only a handful of players that do that for A's fans. And we're kind of like on the cusp of that because the younger fans did not get to see Rickey Henderson. You know, he retired as a Padre?
2003 as a Dodger.
As a Dodger.
2003 season, yeah.
I always remember him as a Padre. We did that little mini slid. Remember he slid into home plate like with his teammates there. That was always like really funny to me.
His Padre years was the year he got his 3,000th hit too.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible baseball player, linking generations together. We don't have that now. So I think that's what really stings. That's what really hurts because he's one of the few A's players that was around for multiple years. And it's always sad when any, person you look up to passes on, and it was just really sad. That was like the first thing I thought of was making a gift for my dad just a couple years ago during the COVID year. We couldn't go shopping and I chose Rickey Henderson. Why? Because he was a generational talent. He was from the Bay Area. He grew up here and, he meant a lot to the community and it's just really sad to see him go. I hope they keep the field and it remains Rickey Henderson Field forever. If there's whatever the development is there, I hope that stays forever.
Yeah. Part of me, there's so much more happening in Oakland than obviously Rickey Henderson's statue, but I do hope that he still gets one, whether or not the stadium is built. I think there should be a downtown statue of Rickey Henderson. And we all know which one it's going to be. It's going to be him holding up that base. That's what it should be, unfortunately. But we'll see.
If that stadium does get demolished and they have to demo the field, they should somehow incorporate where he stood. Geographically, where he stood and did that, that should be the statue site. If it becomes level,
a mall or whatever,
make that the statue site.
The statue goes right where he third stood, base.
I think that would be the statue.
Yeah. I think that's a good call. Good call.